Hey, what's up guys? This is Jacob with Spartan One. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And today we're going to be covering one of my favorite topics of all time. And that is why sports psychology can help you not only dominate in any field, but make more money in any endeavor that you're going into. At Spartan One, we're priding ourselves on some of the most elite coaching tactics that have ever been put out in regards to sports, entrepreneurship. If you're a sales professional, everything that we do is meant to increase performance across multiple dimensions. So when we talk about sports psychology and its application to, say, if you're a sales guy, working towards a sales goal, or you're an entrepreneur looking to hit that next revenue barrier, the way that sports psychology makes you more powerful is basically summed up in these 10 reasons. So the first reason is if you're able to be present. Being present is the ability to stay conscious no matter what. Basically, when we're conscious, we can choose which thoughts we are thinking, we can choose our actions, and we can choose our emotions, rather than just being caught up in the momentum of life. The more choices we have, essentially, the more free will we have access to. And when we're present, it gives us a foundational mindset that gives us absolute control over choosing what happens next to us. And this is crucial because if we're not stabilized, then we're basically in the current of momentum. And that momentum, good, bad, ugly, whatever, is going to carry us wherever it's going. And we are not able to change course easily. If you have a car that's rolling down a hill, you don't want to basically be at the bottom of the hill and try to stop the car, right? You want to catch it as soon as that car starts rolling down the hill. So being present gives us the opportunity to catch things early and have a lot more malleable, a lot more focused mindset. The second aspect is gamification. So when we talk about gamification, gamification allows us to make tasks into games. This adds elements of competition, statistics, and creates an overall more fun experience at whatever we're doing. Gamification can turn boring tasks into hyper-fun activities and exponentially increase results. So we talk about gamification. Gamification is super powerful because it creates momentum and velocity. When we have a task that maybe isn't gamified or isn't even fun to do, there's a lot of resistance there because we don't want to do it and we have to force ourselves to do it. But if we can gamify it with a point system or stats or competition or anything that makes our focus on winning the game or achieving the desired outcome in a fun way, then that gamification is going to make the process a lot more palatable, more fun, and our results are going to exponentially increase because of that. So gamification is the second aspect in making sports psychology work for you in whatever facet of life you are pursuing. The third aspect, and one of my personal favorites, is flow state. When we talk about flow state has been shown to increase performance by up to 300 to 500%. That's pretty freaking crazy. Understanding how to activate flow state on demand adds gasoline to the fire of human performance. When we talk about flow state, it's generally set up to where we have curiosities, then we want to link multiple curiosities into a passion. We want to take that passion and tie that passion to a bigger purpose, an overarching goal that helps more people. And what that does is that tricks our neurochemistry to align itself with our desired outcome. So we're no longer fighting our biology, we're hacking our neurochemistry to get into that ideal flow state, and that gives us a lot more momentum once we've kind of aimed ourselves. So flow state is one of the best reasons to understand sports psychology because, as I mentioned before, there are studies that show a 300 to 500% increase in performance once you understand not only what flow state is, but how to consciously activate it and capitalize on it. The fourth aspect is understanding team psychology. Any large enterprise in life requires teamwork. Understanding how to motivate teams to perform their best is crucial to gaining the maximum leverage in business. When we understand the dynamics of psychology in of itself, that is ultra powerful. But putting that in a bigger scope to team psychology and understanding how key players interact with other key players and their own personalities and their matrices and how they blend together and how navigating that is crucial to achieving long-term success, because we can only get so far by ourselves. So understanding the dynamics, the psychology, and how teams work together can give us an extreme leg up on the competition when we really understand how to not only understand that dynamic, but leverage it to our benefit. The fifth aspect is being able to skill stack performance skills. Nutrition, lifting, and sleeping are all skills pertaining to physical performance. Curiosity, passion, and purpose all play a role in mental performance. If one is able to effectively stack these together, then the results can be quite insane. So when we talk about skills, right, say you have skills in terms of sales. You've got a communication skill, you've got copywriting skill, you've got closing skills, you've got all of these skills. And the more that we can stack skills, the higher we can leverage odds to be in our favor. Essentially what we're doing with peak performance is we're looking at different skill sets that move us towards our goal, and we're seeing how many we can stack within a time frame. How can we get more skills stacked on top of each other? Because if your nutrition's on point, your sleep's on point, you really understand self-management, and you have a healthy physical apparatus, that is going to quantum leap any type of cognitive skill you have, because the body and mind are so intrinsically linked. Then when we look at mindset, if we're able to leverage the previously stated aspects of flow state along with other mindset skills, including being present, that stack is going to be way more powerful than just focusing on one skill, right? It's really the stack that allows people to become legendary, right? If you think about really good performers, they're good at one or two things. When you look at elite level performers, they have a stack that is much more impressive. So being able to stack those skills is huge when it comes to sports psychology and directly applying that to beating whatever goals you have set for yourself. The sixth aspect is to understand how to effectively use higher faculties of mind. Being able to use your higher faculties on demand, which are perception, reason, will, logic, imagination, and memory, will give you almost superhuman powers when it comes to creating outcomes. Understanding that you not only have higher faculties of mind, but understanding how to toggle between them when you're focused on achieving something gives you an almost Batman tool belt of different strategies and methodologies you can use to use your mind to create the outcomes that you want. If you're shooting 3 points, right, in basketball, you're shooting from 3-point line. If you have mastered imagination and visualization and you can see that ball going in over and over and over again, you're training your neurochemistry to basically expect that result. If you're visualizing poorly and you haven't mastered your imagination, you're visualizing the ball missing, you're visualizing people laughing at you, you're training your body for that outcome. If you have memory skills that are lacking, if you can't quickly recall memories, or if you focus on memories that are non-aligned with your dream outcome, meaning that, say you're going to go talk to a pretty girl, but in your memory you keep replaying this memory of one time you got shut down, that is an ineffective use of memory. So understanding that you not only have higher faculties of mind, but effectively training them, honing them, and using them is how you get these almost superpowers when it comes to creating your own reality through leveraging the power of your mind. The seventh aspect is mental programming. So television programs you, the news programs you, and society programs you as well. So what if you designed your own programming? What if you programmed your mind the way that you wanted? Think of the possibilities, right? 95% of our minds are subconscious programs, and if we're able to consciously write those programs instead of just taking them from television or society or some of these other things, we go, no, this 95% of my brain is basically all subconscious programs I have nothing consciously to do with. I want to make those align to my goals. So we just reprogram ourselves. That is huge, because then we are unconsciously the person, the identity, the being who is at the level that we want to be, right? And then we don't have to use so much willpower to fight our conscious mind, our unconscious mind. Great example is like, if you're trying to get good at math, but you've had this belief for a long time that you're bad at math, you may tell a story like, well, I'm trying to do this, but I've never really been good at math. And so if you've told that story over 100 times, then your subconscious believes you are bad at math. So every time you go to do a math problem, it's like you're forcing an unnatural type of motion because you're programmed to be bad at math. So it takes a lot more effort. And if you can reprogram that, then it's like having the wind in your sails and you're able to move a lot more effectively through life. The 8th aspect is understanding how many last wins we have. We've all heard of a second win, but did you know that humans have up to 5-second wins? 5-second wins? There are levels of performance that the human body is capable of that we were never taught, right? So when we look at how far the body can go, understanding the levels of fatigue and the levels of endurance that we have within us can help us properly frame what our true potential is. If we just go to the gym and the second we get tired, we're like, oh, I'm too tired, I can't do this. That's a misunderstanding of what that is. That is your body reaching its oxygen capacity and knowing statistically that if you push a little bit further, even 1 to 2 minutes, that feeling will subside and you'll get a whole nother 15 to 20 minutes of great performance. So understanding how to push past those barriers is important, but it's also important to understand that we can push past those barriers and that they're not as permanent or finite as we think. The 9th aspect is understanding what a mindset is and how to build one. Understanding what the mind actually is allows us to control it. If we don't understand something, then it's kind of hard to control, right? People often confuse their mind with their brains. Controlling our mind is really all about focus. If we can have unlimited control over our focus, then we essentially become unstoppable. And controlling the mind is understanding that the mind is the regulation and flow of energy and information into our brains, right? So our brain is like the hardware, the mind is like the software. And we can constantly update our mind. We can meditate to release resistance. We can learn so we can download information into our mind, and understanding that it essentially is a focusing agent that directs infinite intelligence. You can point that at whatever you want, and as long as you can control the focus, you can consistently move towards results. And as long as you're able to release resistance and keep that focus, it really gives you a superhuman power to create life. It's really, really cool. The 10th aspect is building the identity of a winner. Building the identity of a winner means that we are making ourselves a winner in every aspect of our lives, no matter how big or small. When we win at the little things, the big things follow. And this is a huge concept, the concept of identity shifting, right? If you are an average, say, kickboxer, and you want to be the best kickboxer, when you are average, you have to start building the feeling and the internal identity of being world class, or you'll never get there. And a lot of times the battle is between who you are currently and who you want to become, and ensuring that more focus is always on who you want to become rather than the current state of things, right? I see this all the time in sports. Somebody loses, he goes, oh no, I just felt off today. I've always been a bad player, this, and this. That's an old identity that they're clinging on to, when in actuality, their goal is to be this exceptional athlete. So aligning your thought, your feeling, your words, your actions with that new identity over time will install that identity of a winner. And the identity of a winner is really about winning things. So if you have small tasks that you win every single day, then that translates to your identity, and your identity will take that basically expectation to win into larger projects. So these are the 10 reasons that sports psychology is so important to understand, because leveraging all 10 of these things together can blow up your performance and take you to absolutely crazy, crazy heights. So I hope you enjoyed the video today, guys. Definitely go to Spartan 1. If you want to work with us, we have a 16-week camp with Graham Betcher. He is the head performance coach for the Utah Jazz. Steph Curry himself. We've got a bunch of testimonials of Olympic gold medalists that he's worked with as well as myself. I'm involved in the course as well too. And I'll drop the Calendly link below. And if you want to see more information, go to SpartanOneElite.com. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great one. Become legendary.